Well, of course, our favourite person to talk to each and every week, and the reason we're in HD, is none other than the wonderful Megyn Kelly, joining us from the United States. How are you, rockstar?
I'm so good. How are you?
Doing my best, doing my best. Now, I'm stuck back in, 1970s colour TV is good for me. HD is good for you, right? That's sort of the way the technology should work. Now, look.
Depends on the day.
Yeah. Before we get to politics and all the rest of it, can we just talk about one of our favourite subjects, that being, your old mate Megyn Markle? Now, I noticed today, and there's all this website stuff, but I noticed today that she's announced a brand new podcast deal, right? And it just got me thinking about, the princess in our life, you. Now, you started your own thing. You've built your own thing into millions of people around the world. Why can't she build something? She's just got to get paid by somebody else all the time.
Yeah, it's so true. And no one's ever heard of this podcast outlet that she's going to. As far as I could tell, they've got far, far lefties like Sarah Silverman and Samantha Bee, who are loathed by everybody who is center or right of center. So this is what she's signing up for. She's declaring she's not just liberal or progressive. She's a far left progressive. Those are her new partners. Yeah, she can't build it because no one will come. She tried that. Let me tell you, from Spotify to this lemonada is a big fall down. She knows that. She couldn't get anybody else to pony up the dough. She needs cold, hard cash because she wants to fly private and she wants all the trappings of the royal life without having to work for it. And she does want to fly private, and she is flying private on everyone else's dime. At the same time, as part of their rebrand, Harry's continuing to touting himself as an environmentalist. Okay, if you're an environmentalist, get on JetBlue. Stop with the private flights everywhere, because that's the only way they'll travel. And of course, she, another hypocrite, is calling herself a feminist who's going to shape the future. How? Because no one tuned into your first crappy podcast where all you did was lecture us on feminism and everyone hated it. Remember, she was so upset that she was objectified when she put on the tiny sparkly dresses on Deal or No Deal, and they didn't want to hear her thoughts on nuclear codes. So it's a joke. She's not a feminist. She's only a Megynist. That's it. She cares about promoting one thing, herself. Just ask Katie Wadey, as she referred to Kate Middleton in her interview with Oprah, a low blow hit. Or ask Omid Scobie, Megyn's stenographer, who took way below the belt hits at Kate in the book he just put out. She only likes one woman. It's herself. She wasn't very good to the Queen, and now her partner in life, Harry, finds an opportunity to put himself back in the news. We talked about this last week. His father comes down with cancer, and he flies immediately over to the UK. Within 30 seconds, he had released that fact to the media. And even his father at this point is like, get out. He's there for 30 minutes. He insisted reportedly that he not be in the room with Queen Camilla. She's probably the only reason he got the invite to walk in the door anyway. He's called his father a racist. That's back to the Omid Scobie thing. Clearly, those two were telling Omid that Charles is a racist. That was in the book as it was released. And then he tried to take it back. Oh, I never said that to the translator. Well, Omid Scobie did. Anywho, he gets kicked out and he has to go right back home. He had to stay in a hotel. He did fly private for a commercial for that one. They want nothing to do with this pair. And so what we have here is yet another attempt to use the royal name and the royal titles to make money, which is exactly what the Queen asked them not to do. They've launched a new website, a new brand to try to get more money because they think their problem is marketing, is branding. And they refuse, as always, to realize it's them. There's no amount of rebrand that's going to help them.
It doesn't matter how much glitter they decide to roll it in, it still is something nobody wants to buy. Nobody wants to read, and whatever fascination they have are in lives in the past. And the thing that they don't get, I think that they don't understand, particularly say about podcasts, video, all the rest of it, right? Unless you're going to be really, proper open about your life, right? Like that sort of reality level, okay, too much information, or let us into the madness of your life, then that's not particularly interesting. And they're not really people that anyone would consider particularly insightful, or dare I say sort of, public intellectuals to actually tune into okay, how are they going to help my life? Like, these are not, Jordan Peterson-like people.
Oh, God. She didn't even mention them in the same breath. So you're exactly right.
Just trying to
they
trigger
have
you.
no insightful commentary to offer on anything. No one wants to hear, unless they're going to be talking about the royal family, which is how they got their Netflix deal. And it was interesting. We wanted to see the behind the scenes stuff about the Queen and so on. No one's going to listen. So if they're going to talk about their lives and their thoughts on life, it's going to be more banalities. That's what we got the first time around. No one actually cares about what Megyn Markle thinks about X or Y or Z. We just want to hear them talk about the Queen and what it's like to be a royal. Now they're out of that material, so we're going to be stuck with more lectures on which words we're not allowed to use, according to who? Megyn Markle. Who cares what she thinks about what words I attempt to use in my life? Couldn't care less. This is why Spotify wanted to get rid of them. This is why they were called the greatest grifters of all time by Bill Simmons over at Spotify. They didn't live up to their deal. They weren't producing more content for Netflix. All these deals are circling the drain. So they went to the no-name far-left organization that signed her up. I guess we're going to get more drivel on feminism, according to Megyn Markle, who's done nothing other than get married. That's her big accomplishment. Fine, I like being married, but it's not like that's what a feminist does. We get married and then we tell everybody about what we did as a married woman thanks to our husband's money. Woo, me.
Yeah, I mean, look, as important as marriage is, and obviously happy Valentine's Day, here it is in Australia from those who love you here,
Yes.
but it's not landing on the moon. Like it's like when these people go, it's like, that's something that, okay, wow, really? Only this many? And how many? But, anyway.